Most of the time it's men, which is even more like y'all are soft. You're still broke at the end of the day while our check is hitting. So again, if you're broke, don't bet. These are what our messages look like after every game. I'm called a bitch, I'm called a I'm called everything under the sun. I've been told that they hope that our plane crashes on the way home. Puts pressure on Cathy, who we've been begging to step up for us in these spaces. And now I think it demands her to actually take some initiative and to do something about it.
You've been begging for Cathy to step in. Unknown WNBA players. They have been begging for Cathy Engelbert to protect them. Please, Cat, we need your claws. Protect us from these angry men. Their toxic masculinity's out of control. I'm so scared. You know, it's ironic that unknown WNBA players are begging for protection from random unknowns on social media. It's ironic that WNBA players are terrified to be victims of unknown on unknown crime, mainly because WNBA players usually relish being perceived as the ultimate victim to online bullying. But it's also ironic because Caitlin Clark and her fan base, they have been begging for the Great White Hope to be protected. But she doesn't need protection from lonely men on the internet. Caitlin Clark fans want her protected from jealous WNBA players. But for some reason, the league refuses to protect their only asset. And based on comments made yesterday by Adam Silver, it is abundantly clear that Caitlin Clark is on her own. Yesterday, Adam Silver was asked about the ongoing mistreatment of Caitlin Clark. Apparently, there is some kind of fan festival this weekend in Las Vegas. Thousands and thousands of people travel to Las Vegas, I guess to meet their favorite athletes. My inside sources are telling me that the shortest line at this event is for the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces. Take a look for yourself. My inside sources took this exclusive photograph. This was the line to meet A'ja Wilson. As you can see, her lovely parents decided to show up, but no one else seemed to be interested in taking a picture with the supposed face of the league. All kidding aside, Adam Silver was asked yesterday about Caitlin Clark. Now you gotta remember, it's being reported that Adam Silver stepped in and essentially forced Cathy Engelbert to suspend Al Thomas. Many thought this was a step in the right direction. Over the last 2-3 years, WNBA players were allowed to treat Caitlin Clark like a piñata with impunity. With Adam Silver suspending Alyssa Thomas, it looked like the WNBA was finally doing something to protect their only star. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Watch for yourself.
The issues around Caitlin Clark are not largely about officiating, and that particular incident is not about whether a foul should have been called at the time in the game or whether that was ultimately a flagrant on review. She's become a bit of a political football in this country, and I think it's incredibly unfair to her. I don't think that issue is ultimately about officiating. It's sort of, you know, it's become political ping pong with her.
Believe it or not, Adam Silver's not wrong. This is not an officiating issue. 2 months ago, WNBA players were doing what they do best, whining and complaining. At the time, they were complaining about the officiating being too strict. What happened to our league? We're no longer allowed to touch each other. I didn't join the WNBA to pretend to play basketball. I thought this was the league that allowed us to get physical. I want to get physical. You know, it would be one thing if every WNBA player was treated the same as Caitlin Clark, but let me ask you something. How many times has Paige Beckers been punched in the throat? How many times has Angel Reese been poked in the eye? if this were happening to LeBron James, if this were happening to Steph Curry, and he was being targeted by damn near every player in the NBA, you think Adam Silver would just sit back and allow it to happen? Every time Caitlin Clark is attacked, we hear the same excuse. The W is a physical league. These ladies love to get rough. Well, if that's the case, how come they're only showing their tough love to one player? Look, is some of this controversy being over-exaggerated? Is the Caitlin Clark fan base so emotionally invested that they can't be objective? Absolutely. Like I told you guys yesterday, I didn't think that foul Wednesday night was egregious. It was incidental contact. It was not intentional. Matter of fact, it's subjective as to whether or not it was even a foul. But that's not the point. The overreaction of Caitlin Clark on that play, it was the direct result of this same thing happening for 3 years and the league refusing to do a damn thing about it. You see, the WNBA does not have an officiating problem. The WNBA has a culture problem. The culture in this league is toxic. You don't have to take my word for it. If you won't believe me, if you don't believe WNBA players single out certain players, maybe you'll believe Kelsey Plum. Watch for yourself.
I don't think it helps being a 5'8" white girl coming into the league with 85% black women that want to take your head off.
If you're thinking that this is a racial thing, it's not. I don't think jealous WNBA players are racist. If that were the case, Paige Bueckers would be mistreated. Instead, Paige Bueckers is treated like the pretend white hope. This white girl will elevate our league. Yes, she'll elevate you from the water in the pooper to being stuck on the side of the pooper. Several years ago, Candace Wiggins abruptly retired from the WNBA at 29 years old in the prime of her career. Now, on the surface, it didn't make sense. Candace Wiggins was a beautiful black woman. She should have been automatically accepted into the culture of the WNBA. So, why did she retire? Well, according to Candace Wiggins, I was constantly bullied. My colleagues didn't like me because I was attracted to toxic masculinity. 98% of the league rides the all-girl float in the gay pride parade. The culture in the WNBA is toxic towards straight women. I thought the WNBA was the league of inclusion. I thought the WNBA was the anti-bullying league. I guess they're only anti-bullying when they are the ones being criticized. Yesterday, Cathy Engelbert was at this fan event in Las Vegas. She was speaking with Elle Duncan, and Kat was asked about the growth in the league. More specifically, Cathy Engelbert was asked why the WNBA has grown so much in the last couple of years. Now, for anyone not blinded by stupidity, the answer is simple: Caitlin Clark. But according to Kat Engelbert, Caitlin Clark isn't the reason for the WNBA's elevation into the mainstream. She credits some goat named Donna Taurasi and a collection of unknowns. Watch it for yourself.
Shout out for the GOAT here, Diana Taurasi. I think there was like a moment where there was the convergence of a lot of different things. People like Kristen Cook looking at investment in women's sports, the quality of our game, scaling our game a little bit. When I came in, I think we had 80 of our 240 games on national platforms. Now this year we'll have over 220. So if you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come? The late great David Stern, He built the WNBA in the late 90s. For the better part of 30 years, this league was built off the generous donations from the NBA and its players, and no one was coming. Cathy Engelbert is sitting there, giving credit to her pet goat. Meanwhile, she completely ignores the real reason the WNBA has grown. Unfortunately for Caitlin Clark, you're on your own. At this point, you got two choices. Caitlin Clark can toughen up, she can deal with it, or she can walk away. Me personally, I don't understand why her fan base continues to support this toxic turd of a league. I get it. They love Caitlin Clark. They want to support her. I understand. But the WNBA clearly does not want your business. When someone tells me they don't want my money, I refuse to give them my money. When someone tells me not to watch their unbelievably bad product, I don't have to be asked twice. Matter of fact, I ignored the WNBA for 28 years, and I would continue to ignore this dump today if I wasn't paid to follow the league. Fixing the culture of this league is going to be tough. You damn sure don't have the right commissioner in place to eradicate the toxic culture in the WNBA. But there is a simple solution for Caitlin Clark fans who continue complaining about the league. Stop watching it. If you took your attention, if you took your money away from the WNBA, I guarantee you, decisions would be made to take better care of Caitlin Clark. With WNBA players no longer making minimum wage, with most players being vastly overpaid compared to their financial value, which for most players in this league, their financial value is zero, with WNBA players no longer being paid in Ethiopian breadcrumbs, the pressure is on the league to perform. All this controversy, every time there is outrage over Caitlin Clark, the league benefits from it. Every time there's an accusation of mistreatment, good for the league. The drama keeps the WNBA alive. The storylines maintain interest because they know they can't generate or sustain interest with the product on the court. So from Cathy Engelbert's perspective, why would she protect Caitlin Clark? Why would she eliminate the league's only storyline? Think about it. What else is going on right now in the WNBA? Name another mainstream topic of conversation. One. If you want to fix the toxic culture, stop watching it. Because either one of two things will happen. The WNBA will address the issue to appease fans of Caitlin Clark, or this dump of a league will return to the underground where it belongs. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.